The year is 2026. As Donald Trump returns to the White House, an old ghost has resurfaced: Greenland. But this time, it is not just a tweet or a passing thought. Trump has officially placed the acquisition of the island at the center of the U.S. national security strategy. As of January 2026, Washington is preparing to declare Greenland an indispensable American territory. This is no longer a joke. It is a massive, high-stakes geopolitical move. In mid-January, Trump announced that Greenland is the key to the Golden Dome, a new missile defense project. He claims that Russia and China are lurking in the strategic void left by melting ice. "No one will touch this sacred land," Trump declared, arguing that taking ownership is not just an option, but a necessity to protect the American people. The rhetoric has shifted from real estate to a total survival instinct for the North American continent. On January 17, 2026, a post by Trump on Truth Social sent global markets into a tailspin. He threatened Denmark and aid supporting European nations with massive trade tariffs. These tariffs will remain until Denmark sits at the table to discuss the sale of Greenland, he stated. This is unprecedented in modern diplomacy. An open economic blackmail against allies for a piece of territory has begun, shaking the foundations of the Western Alliance. Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, hosted a historic protest on January 18th. Thousands of Greenlanders marched toward the U.S. consulate, carrying signs that read, "Our land, not yours." Despite the -20-degree weather, the Inuit people sang national anthems, declaring that Greenland is not for sale. Even those who previously sought independence from Denmark are now siding with Copenhagen to resist the threat of an American flag being planted. Reports dated January 11, 2026, claim that Trump has asked special operations commanders to prepare contingency plans for Greenland. Rumors suggest high-ranking Pentagon officials are resisting the idea. Trump's implication that he might take the hard way has turned routine Arctic exercises into a defensive shield. NATO allies are now on high alert against one of their own members, creating a tension not seen since the alliance's founding. The world is witnessing NATO's greatest crisis. France and Germany have decided to send symbolic military units to Greenland to support Danish sovereignty. This is a historical first. NATO members taking a collective stand against the annexation threats of another NATO member. Trump has accused his allies of paving the way for Russia and China. In diplomatic corridors, only one question remains: will the NATO alliance survive this Arctic winter? Trump has escalated the economic pressure. The 10% tariff effective from February 1st is set to jump to 25% by June. Thousands of products from luxury cars to industrial machinery are targeted. Trump's strategy is clear: inflict enough pain on European industrialists so they pressure their governments to give up Greenland to end the crisis. However, the European Union has declared full solidarity with Denmark, refusing to back down. Why the persistence in 2026? Because the tech war has reached a fever pitch. Greenland holds 25% of the world's rare earth elements, vital for EV batteries and AI processors. Trump argues that letting these resources fall under Chinese influence would be the technological death of the US. To him, whoever controls Greenland controls the energy and information of the 21st century. It is a race for the silent gold mine hidden beneath the frost. Trump mocked Denmark's ability to defend the island, claiming they defended with only 2 dog sleds. This dismissive attitude caused outrage in Copenhagen. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen stood by her 2019 absurd comment, reiterating that sovereignty is not up for negotiation. But for Trump, state decorum is secondary to the rules of the art of the deal. Belittling the other party is simply a tactic to force a lower price or a quicker surrender. In Washington, a bipartisan group of senators has sent a delegation to Copenhagen to stop Trump's unilateral moves. These senators argue that Greenland is an ally, not an asset, trying to repair the diplomatic damage. However, Trump has accused the delegation of treason, taking total control of foreign policy within the White House. In 2026, a deep political divide over Greenland is tearing through the fabric of American domestic politics as well. By 2026, the Arctic Ocean has become the heart of global trade routes. As the ice melts, new routes emerge that could turn Greenland into a massive logistical hub. Trump says, if we don't take Greenland now, our grandchildren will see it as a Chinese Portilles. His vision is to be remembered like the 1867 purchase of Alaska, a move initially seen as madness, but eventually recognized as a stroke of genius that built an American empire in the north. In January 2026, the Danish krone began to lose value against the US dollar. This market uncertainty is terrifying investors. Trump is using economic turbulence as a weapon. If you give us Greenland, Denmark will become the wealthiest nation on earth per capita. Yet, the Danes insist that they want to protect their prosperity through principles, not by selling territory. The clash between American transactionalism and European values is at its peak. During a mid-January press conference, Trump claimed that international law is not an obstacle. Operating on the logic that the strong set the rules, he has brought the expansionist spirit of the 19th century into 2026. For him, this would be a psychological victory for America's greatness. These statements have ignited global debates on American imperialism and led to emergency sessions at the UN, where the world watches the US with growing concern. In 2026, this battle is also fought in the digital realm. Accounts allegedly backed by the White House are sharing videos claiming Greenland has been neglected by Denmark. American citizenship and massive checks are being promised to the Greenlandic people. In response, young Greenlanders have launched global social media campaigns to defend their culture and ties to the land, fighting back against Trump's real estate agent language with indigenous pride. The protest movement in Denmark and Greenland is now called Hands Off Greenland. It consists of millions of digital supporters worldwide. The winter of 2026 is being called the beginning of the Ice War rather than the Cold War. Trump's stubbornness has caused an anti-American bloc in Europe to solidify more than ever before. This movement is no longer just about a piece of land. It has become a global symbol for the right to self-determination. What about the main rivals? Russia and China are watching this conflict between the US and Europe with delight. Moscow claims they are only protecting their borders while increasing the number of nuclear submarines in the region. China is offering secret investment deals to Greenland under the guise of a commercial partner. By attacking his allies, is Trump accidentally creating a vacuum for his enemies? This is the great paradox of the 2026 crisis. In a strange twist, Trump announced he would form a peace council to resolve the Greenland crisis, inviting leaders like President Erdogan to mediate. The contrast of threatening annexation one day and playing peace envoy the next is the hallmark of Trump's unpredictable 2026 foreign policy. Everyone is confused. Does Trump want to start a war, or is he just setting the stage for the biggest deal in history? The world holds its breath for his next move. Despite the support of allies, the Danish government feels increasingly isolated. The United States is Denmark's primary security guarantor, and Trump is using this as leverage. The implication that if you don't give us Greenland, you lose our defense umbrella is forcing Copenhagen into an existential decision: sovereignty or security. 2026 has become the year of this tragic dilemma, testing the limits of how far a small nation can resist a superpower. Talk of a total independence referendum for the spring of 2026 has begun in the Greenlandic parliament. If Greenland leaves Denmark entirely, Trump could negotiate directly with the government in Nuuk. This might be Trump's most cunning plan to bypass Copenhagen. While islanders fear their freedom might just turn into American ownership, the fire of independence has been reignited, potentially changing the map of the Arctic forever by the end of the year. In conclusion, the year 2026 is passing as a year where not just ice, but wills are clashing in the snowy lands of Greenland. Trump maintains his resolve, saying, "History will remember me." Meanwhile, Greenlanders continue to sing their songs against the wind. We are not for sale. Whatever the outcome of this great bargain, 2026 will be remembered as the year Greenland's name was engraved in world history with letters of gold or perhaps letters of ice.